Guys, what's up? So I just kind of want to show you, I haven't done a greenhouse check in a while. Kind of want to show you what's going on in the greenhouse other than the chicken that you may have just saw hide from me in the tomatoes. Probably hoping I won't see her because it's a pretty typical September day here in Maine today. It's windy, acorns are knocking people out. There's rain. It's just icky, and it's not even like icky and cool, it's icky and humid, and so it's a double icky here today. Tomatoes still doing fantastic. Peppers are on the other side of those. They're still doing fantastic. Now remember, this is the end of September here in Maine. We are in zone 5, almost zone 4. We're right on the edge. So we actually have already gotten a frost here this year. We got one like a month earlier than we usually do. And so that was kind of a shocker. That was like last week. And so usually though we get frost, there she is. We get frost in October, yeah, all throughout the month, but usually the middle of October is when we really get hit. So this is pretty cool for the end of September in Maine, these tomato plants. And we're just gonna let the tomato plants go and see how long they produce for us in the greenhouse throughout the winter. That's kind of an experiment. The pepper plants are putting a lot more effort into, because I was told that pepper plants can be a perennial if they're in the right environment, and that they'll just produce more and more every year. So I'm gonna go ahead and baby the heck out of my pepper plants. Hi, what are you doing? You don't belong in here. So yeah, tomatoes are doing great. These, I tell you what guys, the celebrity tomatoes, the celebrity hybrid, these have done fantastic. They need to be strung up. They have done fantastic. They've put out probably 10 ripe tomatoes every 3 to 4 days. Sometimes every 2 days I have to pick at least 5 off of them. I would highly recommend that variety. We'll definitely be putting more in once those crazy things die off, because as you can see, the celebrities are a little bit more manageable as well. Other stuff that we've got going on in here. We've got peas finally coming up. These peas are actually, I found a bag dated for 2014. And they still, a little spotty, but they still came up. Actually, we've got more. They're working on it. They're making their way up. So we've got peas in the back here, and then throughout, let me see if I can find a guaranteed one. Right here, this guy. In the front of the bed, we planted broccoli. And those are coming up really well. So that's exciting. Peas and broccoli are on their way. And those will do good out here regardless, as long as it's kept, you know, above freezing out here, because they like the cold weather. The heated part is really to see how long we can push these tomatoes and if we can keep the peppers alive, you know, for a couple years. I just went through and seeded down carrots. We finally got our carrot seed. We're trying a seed from M.I. Gardner now, and we have been having such a hard time. I'm sure, as you guys know, that the seeds are still like out of stock, crazy everywhere. And we finally found carrot seed on M.I. Gardner, and I got 2 bags of them. Kingston eats carrots like it's going out of style, raw and cooked. So that will be nice to get some going, and it'll be nice to have carrots in the stand later this fall, early this winter as well. So this whole bed is carrots. I think we're gonna do, because we're doing 2 more beds. Well, we're doing 4 more beds. We can fit 4 more beds in this area right here. That's all just grass and weeds right now. And so we'll do probably another bed of carrots because we eat a lot of carrots. People love to buy fresh carrots, so the carrots are broadcasted here in this bed. This is really loose soil that was mixed with like hay. It came out of one of the barns, so it was all nicely composted and it's nice and loose, and so we chose to use that for the carrot bed. We'll see how they do. And then back here, as usual, is absolutely insane. My collards finally we pulled them out because they died off. The Swiss chard, this is the same row of Swiss chard that we planted in February, and it's just, it's going nuts still. The bugs, oh my lord, you guys hear all that noise? The bugs got to it once, and we sprayed it. Here we use neem oil, and we sprayed it and it just came right back. It needs to be cut. I'm actually going to cut some today for the farm stand. Spinach, we finally got to the point where I was like, you know what, we should be all right to plant spinach. It's getting cooler. We might be all right to try it now. We had a unusual, crazy hot summer here for Maine. Usually we get a couple of 90-degree days, but we were consistently in the 90s for the majority of the summer, and it was insane. So a lot of people's cold weather crops that usually do really well here did not do well this summer. We did not even try spinach until now, and as you can see, it is doing fantastic, which is really exciting. Spinach is another thing that we eat a lot of. We haven't had it all summer because we've been spending the summer eating only what we're growing, which has been a lot of Swiss chard and a lot of kale. So eggplant, they are still just absolutely nuts. We're gonna have to string those bad boys up because they're just being crazy over there. This is really cool, you guys. Yellow beans, fresh young yellow beans that are just starting to produce. These guys, look how happy they are. Now they're such a train wreck, and you kind of see my half done trellis that I just kind of gave up on because by the time I got out here they had already decided where they were going to be. We didn't realize that this was a pole variety and kind of got to it too late. So they're just kind of a hot mess, but they're doing fantastic. As you can see, they're loving it out here. And so that's really cool to be just starting to pick off of yellow bean plants at the end of September in Maine. Green beans are coming up just as good. They're kind of falling over right now because I just watered them, but they look great. We still have a few celeries over there that we've just kind of been pulling as we need them for soups and whatnot. Kind of keeping them in the ground to preserve them for whenever we need them. I did plant some beets here, but that was just recently, so those guys aren't coming up yet. And as usual, this kale, some of the leaves are still edible, but a lot of this kale has, it's done. We let it kind of go too long without picking it. The leaves are kind of hard. They're not very, they don't have a nice eating texture to them anymore. Holy moly. I hope you guys can actually hear me talking because it is so loud in here right now because of the rain and the wind. So I also apologize if I'm like yelling at you and I don't realize it because it is just super loud in here. Lettuce, per usual, is doing awesome out here. As long as we keep it cool enough. I'm letting choice pieces bolt and go to seed that I really enjoyed growing. And we'll save the seeds from those. Oh, we got a frog in here. Big one. See him? We get all sorts of friends in here. We had a snake in here for like 3 days. I don't know where it went. I figured it would hang around, but it didn't. And we get lots of spiders. That's our first frog though. Lots of chickens. But So lettuce is doing great. Kale's gonna be pulled out and reseeded. Most of it will go to the pigs. Our pigs love greens. I know this sounds so funny. I've never had a pig eat greens before, but our pigs get vegetables and fruits like right off the bat as part of their diet, so they'll eat anything we throw in there. And that's the greenhouse right now. It's nice in here. You know, it's kind of, you try to pretend that it's not hurricane weather outside while you're in here. Let me show you the peppers real quick. Let's walk through our tomato maze here. Oh Lord. Okay, so peppers, look at them, they're getting even taller from the last video. They look fantastic. They're still producing a lot. We did have a bug issue, as you can see. We had a bug issue. I took care of that. With the neem oil seems to work fantastic, you guys. I would recommend that. Right now it's kind of grubby, but we have this brand and it seems to work great. But yeah, it's pouring out there and the trees are just going nuts. So with that, I'm going to brave the weather. There's Raina Bear waiting for me to come let her in the house. So I'm gonna brave the weather and head back in the house, get ready to go run my errands. It's a terrible day for running errands, but unfortunately that's how it has to be done. So I will do another greenhouse check-in soon as more stuff starts coming up, and I hope the weather where you are is better than here. So have a good day, guys.